Hello, and welcome to Wine Wednesdays with Cave B Estate Winery. I'm winemaker Freddie Arredondo, and behind the camera is my lovely wife, Carrie Arredondo, who is also our marketing and events manager at Cave B. On every Wednesday, we answer a question that's put out there by either one of our staff members or by you guys. If you have an interesting question, shoot them our way, and we're going to answer a question every Wednesday. But we're going to get started here with our Semillon to taste a little wine while we're answering this question. And this is the 2018 Semillon. Our Semillon is one of two whites that we do in barrel. This wine is barrel fermented in puncheons, which are 500-liter barrels. They're big, large format barrels, so that there's a smaller oak to wine ratio, so you don't get as much of an oak impact on the wine, but it's still a great aging vessel. So anyway, it's a great wine, beautiful mouthfeel. We like to call this wine our red wine drinker's white, because typically people that don't prefer white wines, we have them try this, and they more often than not do like the Semillon, because it does have a little bit of texture and mouthfeel on the palate. So anyway, let's get to our question. Carrie, what's our question this week?
Yes, thanks, Freddie. So our question this week comes from Janie, and Janie asks, what characteristics do you think we can expect in the coming wines from the 2020 harvest?
That's a great question. It's always a tough question to answer. Like, we as winemakers, we're always optimistic and hopeful for the vintage. But I will say that the 2020 vintage was really pretty amazing as far as the fruit quality. The fruit that was coming in across the board, whites, reds, everything on our vineyard. And actually, from what I've heard, everybody that I've talked with has been really happy with Washington State fruit quality across the board in 2020. So as far as what we can expect, our whites are actually, our tank whites are actually finishing up right now. We're getting ready to start filtering those, so we'll be bottling those in early February for an early spring release on those new white wines. And the flavors we're just getting beautiful, nice acid balance in those wines. I haven't had to do any adding of acids or anything in the white wines. They've just been perfect. And then as far as sugars, the sugars have been fantastic too. Just the right amount of sugar, really nice flavor development. So I'm really, really pleased with the 2020s in the whites right now. Just great overall balance across the board. As far as the reds, I'm again really super energized and hopeful about the reds too. Right now they're in barrel. They're still kind of they're young, so they've just finished up malolactic fermentation, which is kind of if you're familiar with the process of wine, that's kind of the funky phase in wine where it kind of when the malic acid bacteria, it consumes the malic acid and produces lactic acid. While it's doing that, it produces some other volatile aromas that go away, but they have a little bit of a funny flavor in the wine for a short period of time, but then it goes away. So we're just finishing up that part, and we're getting into those wines. I'll probably get into those in the next couple of weeks to start tasting through those. But what I tasted prior to ML and actually even during ML was really, really nice. So as far as balance, I think they're going to be beautifully balanced wines, really nice concentrated flavors without being overripe or jammy. We've had great acid balance on the wines too. So I'm really, really excited about the 2020 vintage. So thanks for the question, Janie. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Send in some questions.